Carney's response to the US and Israel's attacks on Iran is absolutely fucking disgraceful. Death toll from the US and Israel's attack is already at 72 and rapidly counting. And they've already bombed this many cities so far. This attack is just yet another example of imperialist violence and aggression, and the active perpetuation of the violent war machine, to mention a distraction from the files. And yet the Canadian government is backing this attack. I wish I was surprised, but I'm not even remotely surprised. Let's look at Carney and Annan's statement in more detail, shall we? Well, first off, I want to point out this part where they say that Canada supports the US acting to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon and to prevent the regime from further threatening international peace and security. I mean, first off, let's be real here. Any kind of support for the United States in this current moment, big fucking red flag. But also, let's look at the fact that they literally told us that this bombing of Iran was preemptive, which is an admission that it was totally unprovoked. Is the IRGC a violent dictatorship that has been waging violence against Iranians? Absolutely. However, Israel literally could not care less about Iranian people. Any attempt to convince you otherwise and that this attack is somehow necessary is literal propaganda. All right, next I want to point out this part where it says Canada reaffirms Israel's right to defend itself. Yep, that's right. This is Canada's classic rebrand of genocide as defending yourself. And the last part I want to point out here is this first part that says that Iran is the principal source of instability and terror throughout the Middle East. Ma'am, that's at Iran. I think you've got the wrong country. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Carney's speech at Davos was literally just a farcical piece of performance art. It had absolutely no meaning because Carney has made it clear over and over and over again that he is not going to stand up to the imperialist machine. As 𝂀📃 so eloquently says, Canada being a middle power is really just Canada being a junior imperialist power and co-signing the disgusting actions of Israel and the United States and acting as pedo apologists. So if you're one of those Canadians who is still out here being like, isn't Carney so incredible? Like, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. The Canadian government needs to be held accountable because this is disgusting. If you're located in Toronto today, there is emergency action for no U.S.-Israel intervention in Iran at the U.S. consulate, which is at 360 University Avenue. And if you're in Montreal, there's also an action there. Si tu es à Montréal, il y a aussi une manifestation là-bas. No country has ever been saved by U.S. or Israeli intervention. Intervention and war has only ever resulted in destruction and the violent loss of lives, and an even more destabilized and fragmented aftermath.